It felt like a slap in the face. He had just been introduced, he was strong, kind, and instantly loved. And then, within the same arc, gone. Too fast, too unfair.
What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a blessed day, and today we've got another banging video, and this one is from one of the best characters in the last 5 years. This character taught us and reminded us to set our hearts ablaze, that no matter what situation we're facing for, that we should not despair, we should continue fighting on, because victory is always possible as long as you believe and have hope and put your all in it. This is none other than the great Rengoku, the flame Hashira, and this video is when an anime made a perfect decision.
Best thing that could have happened to Demon Slayer. I know, for most fans it felt like a slap in the face. He had just been introduced, he was strong, kind, and instantly loved. And then, within the same arc, gone. Too fast, too unfair. That's what people thought as the credits rolled and silence filled theaters around the world. But that was the point, because Demon Slayer needed to prove something, and it did it in the most brutal way possible. And if you're still wondering how I can call that brilliant, well, that's exactly what I'm about to show you. The first episodes of Mugen Train felt safe. Tanjiro being himself, trying to be kind. Inosuke acted like everyone insulted his mom. Zenitsu being, well... Zenitsu. Then Rengoku steps in, all fire and joy. The guy eats bento boxes like they're candy.
Man's eyes are
He
always
laughs,
wide
he
open.
encourages, he radiates power and stability. Just watching him gives you a weird sense off. Everything's gonna be fine. But here's the twist.
Was
That's
I
the trap.
am here.
The story lulls you into comfort, so it can yank that comfort away when you least expect it. The train demon is beaten, you expect credits, the happy ending moment, but then Akaza shows up. He isn't a mini-boss, he's a monster. Faster, louder, stronger than anything we've seen. His
Upper
punches
moon
shake
free.
the air. Rengoku fights with everything. Fire, slashes, blood, grit, pure will. And the others? They are non-brainers this time. All they can do is watch. And the whole time we're sure there's no way he dies, we did not even thought about it. As we saw Rengoku pierced by Akaza through his stomach, it got tense. Because we know from more than one anime there's always a chance to survive this, right? But after Tanjiro tried to help and telling Rengoku to control his breath, he said,
"No. Very soon, I'll be dead."
this is
The
where
in-
illusions break.
the
The idea that the
inevitable.
Hashira are untouchable is gone. And with that, Demon Slayer becomes dangerous. But let me tell why this worked so good. The real weight isn't just story mechanics, it's psychological. Rengoku's death hits harder because of when it happens. We barely knew him, just a few hours of screen time, yet in that time he
Literally.
gave us warmth, protection, even joy.
Courage.
Our brains are
Okay.
wired to form bonds fast when something feels safe and consistent. That's why people get attached to pets after one day or cry over a character after a single movie. It's called rapid attachment. And here's the kicker. Losing something right after you've bonded to it is brutal. Psychologists
isn't
call this
it?
an attachment shock. It leaves you in disbelief because your mind hasn't had time to prepare for loss. Instead of closure, you get a hole. That's why it felt too soon. That's why it hurt more than if Rengoku had stayed for a whole season and then died. In the moment, it just feels unfair, too fast,
Too instant,
cruel.
isn't it?
But if you take a step back, days, weeks,
When
even
it generally happened, it was quite the shock because, yeah, how many movies do you introduce a character only for that same character to die that same movie? Obviously, this probably happens in a lot of different movies, but for an anime, it's pretty rare for it to happen. You know a character for such a short period of time and then gone. It was so
months
sad
later,
because he was
you start
literally
to see the
goat.
design behind it. Storytelling isn't about giving fans what they want, it's about making them feel. And from that distance, you realize it wasn't random, it was a calculated move. Painful in the present, brilliant in hindsight. That's why today, most fans don't just complain, they admit his death changed everything. There's another layer, the Zygarnik effect. Our brains hate unfinished stories. Rengoku was a character we wanted more of, training arcs, jokes, growth, but his arc was cut mid-flight. That incompleteness lingers in memory longer, making him unforgettable. So what looks like cruelty is actually precision. Demon Slayer weaponized psychology. It gave us something bright, made us love it fast, then tore it away so the wound stayed open, raw,
Just like a
unforgettable.
flame.
And fans showed exactly this, psychology impact. In theaters, whispers turning into sobs, disbelief painted on faces. Online, chaos, worst writing ever versus absolute genius everywhere. Social media buzz lasted for weeks. Even people
Just
who
goes
hadn't
to show
watched
how
were like,
toxic
yeah, I know, the
social
flame guy
media
who
is."
dies. And here's the real juice. Every reaction mattered. The outrage, the sadness, the art, the arguments, it all kept the series alive in conversation. That's the gold. But there's also the ugly side. Some fans got toxic debates turned nasty, and some people were
No
so
more.
traumatized by the shock that they couldn't enjoy the series anymore, waiting for the next guy gets killed. This is the cost of bold storytelling. It cuts deep. Rengoku's
I mean,
death
people are
flipped the
just
rules.
capping there.
Before, the
it
Hashira
is what it
felt
is.
untouchable. But after he fell, every single fight carried fear. Just look at the next seasons, the Mist Pillar almost drowning, or Nezuko burning. Fans genuinely thought she was gone. That paranoia started here. Akaza? He became more hyped than Muzan or Upper Moon One, Kokushibo. That one fight carried him into legend, and it's why the Infinite Castle movie has fans foaming already. Now we've reached a point where it gets interesting. The financial side. Before
What?
Rengoku's death, Demon Slayer was already hot. The manga was selling millions, the anime had pushed it to 60 million copies in print, and everyone knew it was big. But it still wasn't history-making big. Then came Mugen Train. Overnight, it wasn't just an anime, it was the anime. The movie made over $500 million worldwide, breaking every record in Japan. Blu-rays sold out. Over 1 million copies in 5 days.
Apparently,
Manga
it saved
shot
the
from 60
Japanese
million to
economy during
220
COVID.
million in print. Before Rengoku, Demon Slayer was popular, but after Rengoku, it was unstoppable. And the television run? First episode of the arc pulled in around 5 million households, crazy for late-night anime. But it didn't even stop there. Season 2, the Entertainment District arc, blew up again with almost 10 million households in the first week. And Season 3, even bigger. Some episodes pulled 22 million viewers. That's national television level, not midnight anime. Now, here's the scary what if. Some shows tried the same card, kill a favorite early, go for the shock.
But My
Blood Sea
Hero.
is the perfect example. Brutal deaths, big twist, but instead of hype, fans just left. Merch didn't sell, the anime tanked, and the series basically flatlined. That could have been Demon Slayer. Imagine Mugen Train flopping. No Season 2, no Infinity Castle, just another almost big anime lost in the pile. But it didn't fail. Rengoku's death lit a fire under the franchise, and instead of dying out, it turned into one of the most successful anime runs of all time. Rengoku's death
It did,
didn't
but
just stay on
still.
screen, it detonated in the community. Twitter feeds turned into walls of fire emojis, and YouTube filled with tributes. Overnight,
your
he was the
heart
name
ablaze.
everyone typed, the face everyone drew.
It is
yes.
very true. Set Your Heart Ablaze is probably up there right after Erwin's My Soldier's Scream and My Soldier's Rage. Those two are probably the most hypest anime like monologues ever.
But hype is never just pure. What started as grief turned into obsession. Entire threads spiraled into flame wars. Rengoku versus Akaza, who was right, who was stronger, whether Rengoku's death was wasted. Some fans celebrated Akaza as if he were the real hero. Others accused the story of betrayal. Passion turned sharp, and in places, toxic. That chaos mattered. It showed how much the story cut into people. When an audience argues like their own pride is on the line, the narrative struck something deeper than entertainment. Rengoku's death didn't unify the community, it split it, fueled it, kept it restless. But that's exactly why it worked. Safe stories don't linger, controversial ones echo. And this one, it's still echoing. And that's why I loved that he died.
I didn't. I would have much preferred him alive if he survived, but for his 1.5 hour stint, even that movie, he barely is in it. There's a lot of Tanjiro in it mostly, but him at the end really stole the show. Set Your Heart Ablaze. I said it earlier in this video, but it's probably the second best anime monologues in terms of ones that make you like compelled to fight, get into action right after My Soldier's Rage by Erwin. Because it is true. Rengoku showed up at the start. He's a chilled big brother kind of vibe. Chilled, relaxed, but also the guy who who makes you feel like you can do better for yourself. And there's no better people than that. That the person who just being around them inspires you to do better, to be better, and reach your full potential earnestly without any sort of hidden intentions behind it. And that's a feeling we all got from Rengoku. So by that, we look even inspired by him, and we want him to do well for himself as well. We want him to come out of the battle so we can all share in his joy once again. But obviously for him, it wasn't meant to be, and his death really shot ripple effects in the entire story of Demon Slayer, really acting as like a kind of like turning point of this is what a top tier is, and this is what you have to put on the line to defeat the top tier. But yeah, RIP to one of the GOATs, one of the best fire users in all of anime, Rengoku, the Flame Hashira. But that's been the video for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao. Ba, ba, ba.